In the vastness of space, far from the bustling trade routes of the galactic core, Earth hung like a blue jewel against the backdrop of stars. It was to this distant and legendary planet that the Galactic Academy of Sciences had sent its latest expedition, comprised of some of the brightest students from across the galaxy. Each student hailed from different worlds, each accustomed to environments benign and forgiving compared to the notorious Deathworld that awaited them. The mission was led by Dr. Zellar, a renowned xenobiologist whose curiosity about Earth had spanned decades. Dr. Zellar, with their three eyes constantly flickering with excitement, briefed the students as their sleek silver spacecraft approached the planet's atmosphere. "Remember, cadets," Zellar's voice echoed through the cabin, "Earth has a far more diverse and aggressive ecosystem than any we've studied before. Stay alert, stay together, and follow my lead at all times." The spacecraft shuddered as it entered Earth's atmosphere, the sky outside blazing with the heat of entry. The students watched, a mix of awe and apprehension on their faces as flames licked the reinforced viewports. This was a planet that had extinguished many unwary explorers, with its sheer unpredictability and raw power. As the ship stabilized and descended through layers of cloud, Earth revealed its colors: vast expanses of green forests, sprawling blue oceans, and arid stretches of browns and yellows. The landing coordinates were set for a remote area on the North American continent, chosen for its relative safety and proximity to a variety of ecosystems. The landing was smooth, the ship settling gently onto a grassy plain surrounded by towering mountains. The door hissed open, releasing a rush of fresh, cool air. The students hesitated at the threshold, taking in their first breaths of Earth's atmosphere, rich and pungent with the scent of pine and earth. Dr. Zellar led the group out onto the surface, their feet touching grassy soil that was at once alien and familiar. The sun, a brighter star here than on any of their homeworlds, bathed the landscape in a warm glow. "This is it," Dr. Zellar announced, sweeping a hand toward the horizon where the forest met the foot of the mountains, "our classroom." As they ventured towards the tree line, the students' specialized suits protected them from Earth's robust microbial life and adjusted for its gravity, which was heavier than many were used to. They moved cautiously, scanning their surroundings with various instruments that hummed and whirred, capturing data. Suddenly, a rustle in the bushes nearby drew their attention. A small creature with brown fur and large, curious eyes peeked out. It was a deer, a common Earth mammal, yet a sight so alien to the students that they all froze, mesmerized. Dr. Zellar smiled, watching their wonder. "Welcome to Earth, cadets. Let the learning begin." As the deer bounded away, the group followed Dr. Zellar deeper into the woods, eager for their first lesson in survival on a death world. Little did they know the true unpredictability of Earth was just beginning to unfold. After their initial encounter with the deer, the group ventured deeper into the lush expanse of Earth's forest, their senses overwhelmed by the vibrant life around them. Dr. Zellar, with a methodical yet passionate demeanor, explained the intricate web of Earth's ecosystems. "Every element here, from the smallest insect to the tallest tree, plays a crucial part in maintaining the balance of this environment," they stated, pointing out various plants and their roles in the local ecology. The alien students, equipped with advanced translation devices, listened to the symphony of Earth: birds singing, leaves rustling, and the distant roar of a waterfall. Their devices also detailed the sound's meanings and origins, enriching their understanding of the complex interactions at play. As they approached a clearing, the sky, which had been a clear expanse of azure, suddenly darkened. Dr. Zellar looked up, their eyes narrowing. "It seems we're about to experience another of Earth's renowned features. Brace yourselves," they warned. Within minutes, the atmosphere shifted dramatically. The wind picked up speed, howling through the trees with ferocious intensity, and the temperature dropped. "Quickly, into that cave," Dr. Zellar directed, pointing to a nearby rock formation. The students hurried, stumbling over roots and rocks as the first drops of rain pelted down, large and cold. They barely made it into the shelter before the heavens opened in a torrential downpour, the likes of which none of the students had ever witnessed. Inside the cave, the group huddled together, watching in awe and slight fear as lightning forked across the sky, illuminating the forest in brief, stark flashes. Dr. Zillar used this moment as a teaching opportunity. Earth's weather systems are a key part of what makes it a death world. Such storms can arise with little warning, transforming the environment around them. Survival here demands respect for these natural forces. As the storm raged outside, the students engaged in a lively discussion led by Dr. Zillar about the dynamics of Earth's weather patterns compared to their own planets, which had more controlled and predictable climates. The concept of weather control was alien here, where nature still dominated with raw, unbridled power. Once the storm subsided, the group ventured out of the cave, the fresh smell of rain-drenched earth filling the air. The landscape looked washed anew, droplets hanging off leaves sparkling in the now emerging sun. Notice how the earth rejuvenates itself, Dr. Zillar pointed out. This self-cleansing mechanism is vital for sustaining life. As they resumed their trek, the students noticed the swift changes in the terrain and vegetation. The ground was slick and muddy, challenging their footing. The creek they had crossed earlier had swelled into a rushing stream, its waters murky and fast-moving. Approaching the water's edge, Dr. Zillar instructed, "Observe how the water cycle is directly influenced by these downpours. This stream contributes to larger water bodies, and this process is crucial for the distribution of nutrients across vast ecosystems." The lesson was clear. Earth was a planet of constant change, shaped by its dynamic weather and resilient life forms. As the group continued their exploration, each student was keenly aware that they were not just visitors but participants in an ongoing lesson in survival on the most challenging of worlds. After their harrowing experience with the sudden storm, Dr. Zillar decided to take the group to a new location that would highlight another facet of Earth's formidable nature, the Amazon rainforest. Their craft hummed softly as it hovered above the dense green canopy, then descended gently to a clear landing site near a research station. As they disembarked, the alien students were immediately enveloped in a thick, humid air, filled with the calls of unseen creatures and the incessant buzz of insects. Dr. Zillar gathered the group. "Welcome to one of Earth's oldest and most complex ecosystems. The biodiversity here is unmatched, making it an excellent example of how life adapts to challenging environments. The rainforest teemed with life at every turn. Massive trees with roots sprawling like a network of veins across the forest floor supported a multitude of life forms. Vines hung like curtains, and every inch seemed covered by some form of plant or creature, all thriving in apparent chaos. Each species here has adapted to maximize its chances of survival," Dr. Zillar explained as they led the way along a narrow, muddy path. "Notice the variety of colors and shapes. These are not just for show, but serve specific purposes like attracting mates, deterring predators, or camouflaging." The students were equipped with handheld scanners, which they used to identify species and read about their characteristics. One student, Zin, from a planet with a very sparse ecosystem, was particularly fascinated by the symbiotic relationships. On Xanthi, plants compete for resources. Here, they often work together. It's fascinating. They observed a colony of ants marching in a line, each carrying a piece of leaf. Dr. Zillar stopped to explain, "These are leafcutter ants. They don't eat the leaves but use them to cultivate a fungus, which is their food source. This mutualistic relationship is just one of many that contribute to the complexity and stability of this ecosystem." The day continued with observations of various survival strategies. Poison dart frogs, with their vivid warning colors, camouflaged stick insects, and the aggressive territorial calls of howler monkeys echoing through the trees. As the sun began to set, casting golden beams through the dense foliage, Dr. Zillar concluded the day's lesson. "The adaptations we've seen today are Earth's way of teaching its inhabitants to survive in crowded and competitive environments. Each species here is a masterclass in evolutionary survival techniques." That night, back at the research station, the students gathered data and samples they had collected, discussing how these could apply to theories of life on other planets. They realized that Earth's intense biodiversity not only made it a death world, but also a living library of ecological strategies and evolutionary wisdom. Exhausted yet exhilarated, they retired to their quarters amidst the symphony of nocturnal rainforest sounds, each student pondering the incredible resilience and interdependence of Earth's life forms. The lessons learned in the Amazon would resonate deeply, shaping their understanding of life's potential across the cosmos. After their immersive experience in the Amazon rainforest, Dr. Zelar planned the next phase of the expedition to involve direct interaction with Earth's most complex inhabitants, humans. The students, with minds brimming with ecological and biological insights, were now eager to understand the societal structures of Earth's dominant species. The destination was a multicultural urban center, known for its rich history and diverse population. As the spacecraft approached the city, the students observed sprawling urban landscapes, dense with buildings and bustling with activity, a stark contrast to the tranquil chaos of the Amazon. Upon landing, the group was met by a local guide, Dr. Lena Hart, a cultural anthropologist who had been briefed about their mission. Dr. Hart was enthusiastic about showing the alien students the nuances of human life. Welcome to New York City, a melting pot of cultures, ideas, and innovations. Here you'll see firsthand how humans interact with their environment and each other, she explained. The first stop was a historical museum, where Dr. Hart provided a crash course in human history, highlighting the rise of civilizations, technological advancements, and the many conflicts that had shaped the world. The students were particularly struck by the dual nature of humans, capable of great creativity and devastating destruction. Next, they visited a bustling market area. The students observed a plethora of goods from around the world being exchanged. Dr. Zelar pointed out, "Notice the diversity in human commerce and how trade networks are a vital part of this planet's economic structure. It's a different kind of ecosystem, one driven by currency and communication." Interaction with locals provided deeper insights. The students, using their translation devices, engaged in conversations with shop owners and patrons. They learned about the daily struggles and joys of human life, gaining perspectives on how humans adapt to their urban environments. In the afternoon, the group attended a cultural festival. Here they experienced a variety of human expressions through music, dance, and art. Cultural expressions like these are vital for understanding any species. They convey emotions, historical contexts, and social bonds, Dr. Hart explained as they watched a vibrant parade. As the sun set, the students gathered in a quiet park to reflect on their day. Dr. Zelar facilitated a discussion about the complexity of human society. You've seen how humans are both shaped by and shape their environment. Their societal evolution is intertwined with the natural world, even as they build civilizations that seem to defy it. One student, Taral, from a highly structured, hive-minded society, found the concept of individualism intriguing. Humans are connected, yet they operate so independently. It's chaotic but effective, they noted, trying to reconcile this with their own understanding of societal function. Dr. Zelar nodded. Exactly, Taral. Humans thrive in a balance of independence and interdependence. Their resilience, much like the species we studied in the Amazon, is defined by their ability to adapt, but on a cultural scale. As night enveloped the city, the lights from the buildings and streets flickered like stars brought down to Earth. The students, surrounded by this human-made constellation, pondered the complexities of Earth and its inhabitants, gaining a new appreciation for the planet's nickname, Deathworld, where survival extended beyond the natural world into the realm of ideas and cultures. Following their enlightening exposure to human society, Dr. Zelar decided it was time for the students to face Earth's raw elemental forces up close. The group set off for the Pacific Ring of Fire, a region known for its volatile seismic activity and dramatic landscape changes, exemplifying Earth's geological dynamism. The alien students arrived at a geological observatory nestled on the edge of a vast mountain range, surrounded by active volcanoes. Here they were greeted by Dr. Naomi Kimura, a geologist specializing in seismic activity. She briefed them on the safety protocols and the significance of the region. The Earth's crust here is alive and constantly shifting. It's a perfect place to study tectonic movements and their impact on the planet's surface and life, Dr. Kimura explained. As part of their field study, the group donned advanced safety gear and trekked towards a nearby volcano that was currently dormant. Dr. Kimura pointed out the layers of hardened lava flows from previous eruptions, each layer telling a story of the Earth's restless nature. These eruptions are Earth's way of releasing internal pressures, a process both destructive and creative, she said. The students were using their instruments to measure the geological vibrations and composition of the volcano when suddenly their equipment began to signal an increase in seismic activity. Dr. Kimura's experienced eyes widened as she checked the data. "We need to move to a safer area now," she instructed firmly. The ground began to tremble slightly under their feet, a harrowing reminder of their vulnerability on this so-called Deathworld. As they hurried back towards the observatory, the ground shaking increased in intensity. They witnessed a small fissure crack open nearby, spewing steam and ash. The air filled with the acrid scent of sulfur, stinging their nostrils despite the filters in their suits. Once safely inside the observatory, the group watched through reinforced windows as an earthquake unfolded. The rumbling was both terrifying and awe-inspiring, demonstrating the immense power beneath the Earth's surface. Dr. Kimura explained the seismic waves they were observing on monitors. "This is a moderate earthquake by Earth standards, but it's enough to alter landscapes and ecosystems." After the earthquake, the group ventured out to observe its effects. They saw uprooted trees, displaced soil, and a new landscape contour. Dr. Zelar used this moment to draw a parallel with the earlier lessons. Just as we observed in the rainforest and human cities, adaptation is key. Earth species, including humans, have evolved strategies to survive these changes. The experience left a profound impact on the students. They gathered around Dr. Zelar, discussing what they had learned. A student from a geologically stable planet, Voro, expressed his newfound respect for Earth's inhabitants. To live with such uncertainty and yet thrive, it's a testament to resilience. That night, as they camped near the observatory under the stars, the students reflected on the day's events. The physical shaking of the ground was a potent reminder of Earth's ever-present dangers, but also of the dynamic forces that shaped its unique landscape and life forms. They went to sleep with a deeper understanding of the precarious balance of existence on Earth. Truly, a death world where every day was a testament to survival and adaptability. Having experienced the macro-scale dangers of Earth through its volatile weather and seismic activity, Dr. Zelar next planned to introduce the students to the micro-scale threats that further justified Earth's nickname as a death world. The group headed to a high-security biomedical research facility, specializing in the study of infectious diseases. Upon arrival, the students were greeted by Dr. Emily Santos, an expert in microbiology and epidemiology. Dr. Santos led them through a series of stringent decontamination processes before they could enter the research areas. "The organisms we study here are invisible to the naked eye, but have shaped the history of Earth through plagues and pandemics," Dr. Santos explained, her voice serious but filled with a passionate intrigue for her work. Inside the facility, the students observed samples of various pathogens under high-powered microscopes. Dr. Santos showed them images of viruses, bacteria, and other microorganisms, explaining their mechanisms of infection and impact on human health. These tiny entities can hijack the biological processes of much larger organisms, leading to disease and often death. Their ability to evolve rapidly makes them particularly formidable. The session continued with a discussion on Earth's immune responses, both at the individual and population levels. Humans and other Earth species have developed complex immune systems to combat these microscopic threats. There's a constant arms race between pathogenic microorganisms and their hosts, she detailed. To deepen their understanding, Dr. Santos introduced a virtual reality simulation that allowed the students to experience the immune system's battle against invading pathogens at a cellular level. The students were fascinated by the dynamic interactions, resembling warfare, as antibodies tagged invaders and white blood cells attacked them. "It's like each body is its own world at war," mused Zin, visibly impressed by the intricacy and brutality of the microscopic battles they observed. Dr. Zeeler interjected, "Indeed, Zin. On Earth, survival extends beyond adapting to environmental conditions. It involves an internal fight against biological invaders. This internal dimension of survival is crucial." As the day progressed, the students learned about historical epidemics on Earth, understanding how diseases had not only caused widespread mortality, but had also shaped human societies, influencing everything from population migrations to societal structures. Dr. Santos highlighted how medical science had advanced in response to these challenges, leading to breakthroughs such as vaccines and antibiotics. Before leaving the facility, Dr. Santos presented a case study on recent global efforts to combat a pandemic. This is a prime example of how human societies now come together to face common threats, utilizing technology, science, and international cooperation to manage disease outbreaks. Reflecting on the day's lessons as they left the high-security environment of the lab, the students discussed among themselves the dual nature of Earth's life forms, both beautiful and deadly. Earth organisms fight for survival on so many levels, from the grand scale of its ecosystems down to the cellular level. Dr. Zeeler summarized, "Every aspect of existence here involves complex interactions and defenses. It's what truly defines Earth as a death world." The realization that Earth's inhabitants lived in constant negotiation with such a diverse array of life-threatening challenges deepened the students' respect for the planet and its resilient life forms, underscoring the profound interconnectedness of life and the perpetual struggle for survival. After gaining insights into the microscopic battles that characterize much of life on Earth, Dr. Zeeler wanted to elevate the students' understanding of the planet's ecosystems to a conceptual level. The next destination was an environmental research station on the edge of the Great Barrier Reef, where they would explore the Gaia hypothesis, an idea proposing that Earth itself behaves like a single, self-regulating organism. The research station, a complex of floating platforms and submerged labs, provided a unique vantage point for studying the interconnectedness of Earth's environmental systems. Dr. Zeeler introduced the students to Dr. Helen Choi, an environmental scientist specializing in marine ecosystems and their global impact. Dr. Choi welcomed the students and began the session with an overview of the Gaia hypothesis. This hypothesis, proposed by James Lovelock, suggests that Earth's living and non-living components are interconnected and function together to maintain conditions conducive to life. It's not just about survival of individual species, but about the entire planet's balance. To illustrate this concept, Dr. Choi led the group through a series of interconnected labs, each demonstrating a different aspect of Earth's environmental regulation. In the atmospheric lab, they observed how oceanic algae influence atmospheric composition. These tiny organisms contribute significantly to the oxygen you breathe and help regulate atmospheric temperatures by sequestering carbon dioxide, explained Dr. Choi. Next, they explored a marine biology lab, where the effects of coral reefs on marine biodiversity were highlighted. Coral reefs are like the rainforests of the sea, Dr. Choi noted. They support a vast array of life and are critical to marine health. Yet they are highly sensitive to changes in water temperature and acidity, showing how interconnected and delicate these systems are. The tour included a visit to the hydrology lab, where students learned about the water cycle's role in regulating Earth's climate and supporting life. Dr. Choi emphasized the seamless integration of Earth's water systems from the deepest ocean currents to the highest clouds, each playing a role in the global system. Throughout the day, Dr. Choi connected each point back to the Gaia hypothesis, reinforcing the idea of Earth as a self-regulating entity. "The health of one component directly affects the whole," she said. "Human activities that harm one part of this system can have cascading effects globally, which is why environmental stewardship is so crucial." To give the students a first-hand experience of this interconnectedness, Dr. Choi arranged for a guided dive along the reef. Equipped with specialized suits for underwater exploration, the students were awed by the colorful and bustling life among the coral. They witnessed symbiotic relationships like clownfish and sea anemones, and saw the damaging effects of coral bleaching up close. Back on the platform, as the sun set over the ocean, the students gathered around Dr. Zelar and Dr. Choi for a final discussion. Today, you've seen how Earth functions almost like a living organism, self-regulating through complex, interconnected systems, Dr. Zelar summarized. The Gaia hypothesis isn't just a scientific concept, it's a reminder of our responsibility to this planet. The students left the session with a profound sense of the delicate balance that sustained life on Earth. They understood that every action, every intervention in nature's processes, had potential global repercussions. This lesson in environmental interdependence was a critical addition to their understanding of why Earth was called a death world, and it deepened their appreciation for efforts to sustain and protect such a unique planet. As the expedition drew to a close, the alien students and Dr. Zelar gathered at their spacecraft, which was now parked on a quiet beach, overlooking the tranquil yet powerful ocean they had studied the day before. The sun was setting, casting a warm glow over the scene, a perfect backdrop for reflection. Dr. Zelar initiated the farewell gathering by inviting each student to share their thoughts and insights gained from their journey on Earth. One by one, the students recounted their experiences, from the awe-inspiring power of natural phenomena like storms and earthquakes to the complexities of human societies and the invisible but formidable realm of microorganisms. Zin, from the planet Xanthi, spoke of the profound impact of observing Earth's biodiversity. Back home, we struggle with ecological balance. Seeing Earth's ecosystems, so vibrant and yet so fragile, has given me valuable insights into sustainability and resilience, they shared, their voice tinged with a newfound respect for life's interconnectedness. Taral, whose home society valued collective action, reflected on the lessons from human culture. I was struck by the chaotic beauty of human individualism and its role in innovation and cultural richness. It's chaotic, yes, but there's a strength in that chaos, a dynamic force driving progress and adaptation. Dr. Zelar nodded, pleased with their observations. Earth is indeed a death world, not just because of its dangerous environments, but because it challenges its inhabitants at every level, from the macroscopic to the microscopic. Survival here requires resilience, adaptability, and a deep understanding of interconnectedness. As the discussion continued, the group also reflected on the Gaia hypothesis and how it had reshaped their understanding of planetary health. Earth behaves as a single self-regulating organism, mused Dr. Zelar. This perspective, seeing a planet as a cohesive whole rather than a collection of parts, is perhaps the greatest lesson we take with us. With the ocean's rhythmic waves as a soothing soundtrack, the students penned their final entries into their expedition logs, capturing the essence of their transformative journey. They discussed plans to share their findings and experiences with their peers and the scientific community back home, hopeful that the knowledge gained could benefit their own worlds. Dr. Zelar closed the session with a few final words. As we leave Earth, remember that the challenges and beauties you've witnessed here are unique yet instructive. The resilience of Earth's life forms, the creativity of its people, and the delicate balance of its ecosystems teach us about the potential for life throughout the cosmos. The spacecraft's engines hummed to life, breaking the reflective mood as the group prepared for departure. As they ascended, each student looked back at the receding planet, a beautiful and deadly world that had taught them much about the nature of life and survival. Their journey had started with curiosity and apprehension, but it ended with a deep appreciation for Earth's complexity and a renewed sense of responsibility towards their own planets. Earth, the death world, had changed them, not just as students of the galaxy, but as future stewards of their own environments.